PushGapRadio.com, Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Here's what I'm tired of. I am tired. The American people are the biggest slaves of any citizenship in the entire world. And let me tell you why. Because the American people are the only people that are told, go work super hard, go take a massive amount of your life, and we're going to take at least half your money. All right? And then when we take half your money, we're going to send it overseas, or we're going to mismanage it, or we're going to steal it, or we're going to funnel it back into our political contributions, or we're going to send it over here for quote unquote aid. Okay, where's our motherfucking aid? Where's our aid from Kuwait or any of these other rich countries to fix our homeless problem? Do you ever notice that none of the other citizens on the planet work so that we can have a better here in America? It's always the other way around. Why the fuck are we, the citizens of the United States of America, financing the well-being of every other fucking country in this planet? Okay? Until people wake up to that and say no more, shit's going to continue. This land of the free. That's a fucking joke. That's a fucking joke, dude. Land of the free, land of the motherfucking worker bees is what we are. We work
PushGapRadio.com.
We finna take over this town like street sweepers.
Don't knock the hustle, baby.
Hey, this is Scott Moran. It's not just the brothers that listen to PushGapRadio.com. For the hottest new show in the Metroplex, it's Shackleford 1 in the main event on PushGapRadio.com. Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth. Dallas, baby.
PushGapRadio.com in Dallas and Fort Worth. Welcome back to another edition of Shackleford 1 in the main event with Jackie O, better known as my sugar bear, a.k.a. the Queen Bee, a.k.a. the Masked Singer. Jackie O, what's the business?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's going to be full of entertainment and information as always.
That's what that is. Brand new season, brand new show, brand new house, brand new studios, man.
Yes.
We out here making it do the business, and we're very happy
we
to
moved
be
on
where we
up.
are. We've moved on up like the damn Jeffersons around
That's
here,
right.
man. We were in a 930 some odd square foot apartment. Okay.
Ooh,
now
on
we're
top of each other.
Now we're in 2,300 square feet. You understand me?
Not in a good way.
And it is a beautiful thing. Real quick before we get started, big shout out to Dion Primetime.
Yes,
Sanders.
in Colorado. Oh my goodness.
And, yeah.
I am so proud of them. I'm like the proud auntie. I don't get into football, but besides my grandson's team, the Raging Cajuns,
yes,
I am all for Colorado. I am going to look at all of their games. It was so exciting.
it was amazing. So for those of you who have no faith in primetime, okay, Dion was the man.
Hey, they say let your haters be your motivators.
That's what they say. Let your haters be your damn motivators. So big shout out, man, to the Colorado Buffaloes. Man.
Yes, and his son, Shador, set a record at Colorado.
That's right.
He scored, he threw for over 500 yards and made 4 touchdowns and no interceptions.
That's right.
He was on a mission.
Boy was on a mission. 510 yards, 4 touchdowns. The boy truly made it happen. Before we get into living paycheck to paycheck, mine, Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne Johnson announced their $10 million Maui fund. You heard about that, I'm sure.
Yes, it's called the People's Fund of Maui.
Yeah.
And they kicked it off by donating $10 million. Now, out of all of the research I've done, nobody has specified, was it $10 million each or was it $10 million combined? But at any rate, they set off an uproar. It had the opposite effect of what they did. What they were doing is they set up this fund and they come together and did a plea to all of America and the world to donate to the fund. And everybody was like, but wait a minute. You billionaire and multimillionaire.
That's right.
You're standing there. You have multimillionaire and billionaire friends.
Exactly.
If you had just gone to your friends, you wouldn't even need to come to the public.
Calling people in your contact list.
Who is living paycheck to paycheck, and some not even paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Because rent high, how the food is high, gas is high, your vehicles are high.
Everything. Car insurance.
People are having to make choices of whether to eat or put gas in their vehicle, and here you're asking them for money.
Oprah Winfrey went on her social media with The Rock to ask members of the public, everyday people, to donate their money to the Maui, what do you call it? The Maui Relief Fund, I think.
No, it's called the People's Fund of Maui.
The People's Fund of Maui.
Right.
Okay.
And they're like, we guarantee that the money would go directly from you to the families in need. They're going to give the families like $1,200 each if they apply or they ask
Sleepy
for
Joe giving them $700.
Yeah, but that's
That ain't
that's
no
not
money.
$700 per person. That's $700 per household.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yes, it's $700 per household, and they were like, there's really no more funds as far as that goes. And one of the stories I came across, the lady, she lost her house, she lost her job,
Right.
I mean, she just lost everything.
Yeah.
And so they
sad.
told her
Truly
they
sad.
would give her funding for food, but she didn't qualify for funding for housing, and they suggested that she take out a small business loan, but she was like, how can I take out a small business loan if I no longer have an income? And she said, I'm worried about taking on more debt when I don't even know how I'm gonna survive or how I'm gonna live day to day. So no, they're not giving immediate help to these people at all. And he went to visit Hawaii 2 weeks after the fact. And then he went to sleep in an event that they had, and his
trying to say to people, Sleepy Joe in here knocked out.
And his camp is trying to come back and say, no, he wasn't asleep. Well, the video speaks for itself.
Sleepy Joe was knocked out, though.
Yeah, he was. I mean, it was brief, only a few seconds, but the fact remains that he was asleep.
They know what's going on. Oprah Winfrey went on her social media with The Rock to ask members of the public, everyday people, to donate their money to the people of Maui. One billionaire standing next to an almost billionaire. Adults in the affected area of Lahaina and Kuala will be eligible to receive $1,200 each month as they get back on their feet. Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson have teamed up to help people whose lives have been shattered by the wildfires in Maui. As Jackie O just stated, the duo has launched the People's Fund of Maui, in which cash will go directly to the people. Here's the thing. Oprah, sweetie, your ass got tons of money. The Rock has tons of money. As of August 2023, Oprah Winfrey's net worth is estimated to be $3.5 billion, making her the richest female television host of all time. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's net worth is estimated to be $800 million and has been named one of the highest paid actors in the world by Forbes. Here's a youngster who went in on him. Check him out.
Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey is asking for donations for the Hawaii fire. Do the rich people stay rich by taking from the poor? Let me explain. No thank you, Dwayne Johnson and Oprah Winfrey. Y'all billionaires want donations from people that can't afford to buy milk or fucking sugar. Kiss my ass. I was at the store a week ago. I had to help this lady buy a loaf of bread because her card declined. So that's who you asking to donate. We was locked down for 2 fucking years due to the pandemic. All kids is dumber today than they was yesterday because of it. We paying for the Ukraine war, and people can't even fucking buy bread. Leave the poor alone and go and ask some of your rich ass friends. And then y'all laugh at the end of the video with y'all asking for donations. What the fuck is funny? People can't even buy syrup for their pancakes. Don't even think about no goddamn butter. People can't even buy milk for their cereal. Kids gotta put water on their Cheerios. People is eating peanut butter sandwiches because they can't afford no fucking jelly. The rich stay rich from taking away from the poor. If you really want to help Hawaii, use your own goddamn money.
Now, you want to ask the American people who are living paycheck to paycheck right now for money. You was running around yelling on your show, you get a car, you get a car. If Oprah was to donate the $10 million herself from what she has, it would only be 0.2% of her income. The Rock was to donate, it would only be 0.6% of his income.
Yes.
Why are you asking people who are trying to make it, you get a car, you get a car? How about you get a check, you get a check, because you go in your pocket, and all these people you got in your phone, these are your people. These are your neighbors. You live in Maui. And why don't you give back some of the 2,000 damn acres you got to them people so they can rebuild their lives?
Well, and also one of the commenters that I saw said that Oprah alone could house everybody that's displaced and it not even affect her bank account whatsoever.
At all. 0.2%.
But another big thing that people are worried about, they're like, if you want to donate to the people in Hawaii, donate to them directly. Don't donate to this fund. They're saying because the company that's hosting the fundraiser is called Entertainment Industry Foundation. Right. And with that comes 13 executives that get paid over $3 million a year. Right. Additionally, there's another 29 individuals on their payroll that get over $100,000 per year, and that leaves 69 additional employees that make an average salary of $65,000 a year. And so therefore these people have to get their money from somewhere. And so there is critics that think that if you're donating to this fund that The Rock and Oprah is telling you to donate to, that these people who's overseeing it, they're going to pull their salaries out of that.
Because here's what they say. They say that just to pocket watch a little bit and put it all into perspective, The Rock earns $7 million a month. Now do the math. That totals out to $233,000 a day. $7 million a month times 12 months equals $84 million a year. Now, when it comes to the O, it's been reported that she makes $315 million a year. That's $863,000 per day. Most people won't see that kind of money, Jackie O, in their lifetime. So if they funded it themselves, again, it's going to be very little. And then you think about it, somewhere like Kroger's or Walmart or whatever, when they're asking you at the register, do you want to contribute? Right. And now these people have already paid $1 million to whatever fund they're contributing to, which means they write it off on their taxes they just got paid. Now they want you to donate. What do you think happens to the donation? They get it, not you.
And when you donate, they're also going to get to write that off on taxes on their end as well. Exactly. So, yeah. And then Oprah just recently, in February or March, purchased another 600 acres on top of what she already had. So, and it's just ironic that none of her acreage was
None of the big people
at all.
So it seems like it was a scam going on. Again, Oprah owns 2,000 acres in Hawaii. She could literally give the 1,700 residents each 1 acre. And give each resident money to make them whole again and still be a damn millionaire. You got people out here trying to pay rent and buy groceries. You don't know if you can get tires on your car or buy groceries to feed your family. You don't know if you can pay for your medicine or buy groceries to feed your family. Do you pay the rent or do you feed your family? Everybody's struggling right now. This damn country is in an uproar with Sleepy Joe and his boys.
And it's right. And it's like, really, why do anybody even have to donate? This country is sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, helping Ukraine fund their war when dollars. Your own people need that money. You're giving these folks $700 per household. That's an insult. And then the president comes to visit them 2 weeks after the fact.
While he vacationing.
Yeah, and before he did that, he and his wife, they stopped off in Lake Tahoe at this multi-millionaire owner's estate that they're saying that Joe paid market value to rent, and for the whole family, including his crackhead son Hunter Biden. And
Hunter on that good dope.
Yeah, so they spent a few days there. Then he went to Hawaii, stayed there for 6 hours, left there, went back to Tahoe to finish up his vacation.
Yeah,
you have people. Over 1,000 people that are missing, including and nobody's ever given
100 people
account. No, 1,000 are missing.
Really?
Yes.
Well, 100 some were dead.
100 a little over 100 have been clarified as dead, but there's still over 1,000 that are missing. And yet this man is on vacation. And he had
kicking back.
And he was on vacation a week before that. And it was like, when are you going to do some work? You know, you got people
you gotta be cognizant to do some work. You got to be woke to get some work damn done. Okay, Sleepy Joe ass. And that's why Trump be clowning him so much, man. Sleepy Joe and them just don't give a damn. Do not donate to these people. These people have more than enough money, with the American public struggling right now to make it paycheck to paycheck. Some are better off than others, okay? But everybody is struggling. Everything is high. When we was going to Costco, I get this coffee that's almost 3 pounds of coffee. It was $7.99 when I was buying it. Now it's $14.99. Prices are just going up.
And to show that this man is not cognizant, a reporter asked him, what was his response to the island's mounting death rate? Yeah. The death toll is just climbing. He said no comment.
No comment, because he don't give a damn.
But then of course they had to kind of clean that up. So after the fact, because everybody took that and ran with it. Then his team came back and said that he didn't hear the question.
He heard the damn question, man. Quit playing, Sleepy Joe.
It's crazy. And then when he get up there, instead of him just having empathy with these people, he tried to say that he can relate to what they're going through.
And you have no idea what's going on.
That back in 2004, they had a kitchen fire. And
about him.
And said that the firefighters had to rush through the fire, and he almost lost his wife, his 1967 Corvette.
This man worried about his vet.
And his cat. And so, of course, the media went back and dug for the info. Turned out it was a contained fire that took them 20 minutes to put out. Yeah. Nobody had to rush through a fire. His wife, his car, nor his cat was ever was about to perish.
This
man is
donate.
Crazy.
Don't donate to these people, man. Just do not donate. It's the U.S. getting too expensive to live in. Many Americans, as well as countries around the world, are concerned about the economy and inflation. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. You can be living paycheck to paycheck even if you make a lot of money. The myth is that people think that just because you make $100,000 or $50,000 or you make $250,000 or make $1 million a year that you ballin'. Did you know that the average person that makes $100,000 a year is still living paycheck to paycheck because most people increase their lifestyle based off of how much they make? Just like you get a job, you get a raise, you get a better car, or you get a bigger home, and so on and so forth. Most people adjust their lifestyle to how much money they make, and that is a mistake. Regarding the money most people make, people were asked how much money they needed to be comfortable. How much do you think we would need around here to live comfortably?
We would have to each make a minimum of $100,000.
Yep, they say the average that Americans feel they need to earn is $233,000 a year to be financially comfortable.
Yes,
and
because in 2020 is so expensive.
Yep, in 2021, Americans made an average of $75,000. Since most people don't make that in their lifetime, that means that most of us are going to work until we die. People are struggling, man.
Yes.
There's a lot going on. People trying to cover rent. Like you said the other day when we paid our rent, it's people still trying to pay rent for August.
Last month, yes.
You understand?
And I came across an interesting article that said that really it's like we're in a silent depression.
We're in a recession. They just don't want to say it.
Yeah, they haven't said it. It's like
they just don't want to say it.
Right. And it says, how can we be living through the worst cost of living and wages than 1930 and no politician, no media outlet, and no one is talking about it? So they're saying that back in 1930, during the Depression, the average salary was $4,800 a year.
Yes.
That equivalent today would be $85,000. So basically, the people during the Depression was making $85,000 a year, and they were in a depression.
Yes.
The average person today make $56,000 a year.
Yeah.
So that's almost $30,000 less than when they were in depression. So if that's the case, that means that we're definitely in a depression, whether they're saying that we are or not.
Right.
It's crazy. It's like
And
everything is too expensive.
They just trying not to say that we are in a dang on depression. And I mean, it's sad because when Roosevelt, back when he was president, he tied the minimum wage to the economy. So that means today, with the rate of the economy rising, you should be making $54 or $52 an hour. And you know, of course, no one is making that. Not a lot of people anyway. I mean, you notice that UPS got a raise, but that's what it was tied to. But then, of course, the greedy politicians and corporate types come in, and they no longer want to tie that what you earn. But
Because
meanwhile, they
they're
bringing
the
in
employers.
$30, $50 million a damn year plus bonuses and whatnot. While the American people are out here suffering. The Federal Reserve has implemented 11 interest rate hikes to combat inflation since March of 2022. And more than a third of Americans say raising interest rates keep them from financial comfort. So it's sad. I think from COVID, when it was out, after that, because primarily it's a lot of price gouging, if you ask me. But they were trying to get their money back from the money they lost during COVID.
They're legal crooks is what they are.
That's what that is.
And because it said the statistics show that the cost of living in the United States is amongst the highest in the world.
It is.
And that is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Still, you give away all of our resources, and like with Ukraine, they've already given over $2 billion to Ukraine.
Right.
Then he just turned around the other day and promised another $45 million to them.
Why are you giving all our money to these freaking people who haven't paid a dime into taxes? What does Ukraine do for America?
Exactly.
Why are we America's ATM like that?
And that's what some of the comments I saw said that the people in Hawaii need to say something about Putin and they'll get some help. Or change your name to Ukraine. Maybe and even these immigrants that they're now allowing into to the states, they're illegal, but yet they're getting benefits. They're giving these people health care,
right,
schooling,
free housing.
They're giving them housing. They're giving them housing. And not even giving our own people housing.
Because you see what's going on in Chicago and New York.
Yes.
And they talking about busing another 100,000 immigrants to Chicago. They in an uproar in Chicago. And that mayor in there in New York, he's just buckling under the pressure. Because like you said, it's all well and good when they shipping them here to Texas. But as soon as they start sending them to your city,
sharing
your
the
sanctuary
love.
city, they're sharing the love. Now you're begging for assistance. But where was the help for Texas?
It's crazy. And
definitely that.
I mean, it's just getting out of hand.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know Trump was a character and Trump had his quirks, but I'm about ready to switch to be a Trump supporter, honestly. Because if you look at the quality of life that we had when he was president as to what we're going through now.
Yeah.
We was living a whole lot better.
That we were. Excluding other essential expenses like transportation, child care, and debt payments, many Americans are really struggling with just the increase of cost of living. Food and housing have gone up. Utility bills have gone up. Car insurance has gone up. Homeowners insurance has gone up. Because in places like Florida and California, some of the insurance companies are pulling out. And how can they pay for them but also meet other goals that they have to budgeting their income. Now, experts advise Americans to spend just 50% of their net income on essentials, 30 on wants, and 20 on savings or debt. How are you going to save anything? Even if you put money in savings, at some point, you got to pull this money out in order for you to take care of some emergency.
And heaven forbid you have a real emergency.
Yep. Look at the people that were going to buy a house. Let's say the house was $375,000 2 years ago. Their monthly payment would have been less than $2,000. Now that monthly payment on a $375,000 house is $3,400, and it's the same house. So, cars have gone up. Thank God our car is paid off.
The credit card interest rates have changed and have gone through the roof.
Exactly.
I mean, everything is just high. And I also have the top 10, the highest, cost of living states to live in.
Yeah.
New Jersey is number 10. I thought New Jersey would be more so up there with New York.
Yeah, they say New Jersey is off the chain right now,
It is.
What's going on over there?
It's number 10, and their average home price is $615,000. Number 9 is Rhode Island. Their average home price is $430,000. Connecticut brings in number 8. I was surprised by Connecticut.
Why would you be surprised?
I don't know. I just was. $615 is $615,000 is their average home income. Number 7 was Maryland. Home average price is $854,000.
Right.
Alaska was number 6. I definitely didn't expect them to be on the list because who the heck wants to stay in cold Alaska?
Hey, it's money to be made in Alaska, they say.
No daylight for 30 days and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, their average home income is $581,000. Massachusetts is number 5 at $744,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, crazy.
So things are just off the chain. And it's really sad about what's going on. Now, there's this one guy I found on TikTok named The Mind. All right. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how people were always laughing at the Hispanics on how they lived in the same house, this, that, and the third. Check him out.
So if you look across all these platforms like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, right, you see a lot of white people and a lot of black people complaining about, rent's high, food's high, gas high. You know what? I agree with y'all. All that shit is high, right? But you know who's not complaining? Them damn Latinos, right? You know why? Because y'all laugh at them when they were 3 family in a 4-bedroom house, right? But now, rent's high, gas high, all that shit's high. You don't see them on here crying and complaining. You know why? Because they stacked their bread. They stacked their money. They were prepared for this shit. Y'all wasn't, right? The moral of the story is, in order to get shit done, you have to work together. They work as a family. They work as a unit. That's why they have their shit in order. You don't see them. When they got kicked out of Florida, you ain't see them on here crying and praying to Jesus and all that shit. They got in their car and got the fuck on, right? They got in their car and got the fuck up out of Florida, came and started a new life, right? Start a new chapter. All I see is, stop complaining. If you cannot collab and get shit done with other people, stop complaining. If you think you can do it by yourself, that's why a lot of these people are homeless. I'm not cheering it on. I'm not congratulating it. It's sad to see people lose their house, but if you cannot work together and you cannot get people to work together with you, you're gonna be the one that's sleeping in cars and shelters and on these streets. You gotta work together. You gotta be willing to sacrifice to get what you want. All I'm saying, pay attention to them Latinos, bro. They teach y'all how to do this shit. They teaching y'all how to do this shit, man. Peace. Y'all be safe out there.
So why is everything so expensive? The higher the inflation rate, the more expensive goods or services become over time. Many factors in the economy can cause the price increases on individual items in certain areas. As Americans look ahead to a likely contentious 2024 presidential election, many are feeling fiscal pain as the prices of food, shelter, healthcare, and transportation climb higher than their paychecks. About 52% of Americans participating in a USA Today study said the United States is too expensive to live in.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are moving.
7 out of 10 people in America say stifling inflation and the economy are the nation's top problems today. And it's like no one's talking about it. That's because the politicians are in cahoots with the people running the corporations.
Yes, that's how a lot of them get their money. They go into office as a normal Joe Blow and they come out as millionaires because they make it a career and they get in there and they get paid to make all these deals and stuff for things that goes against, what they're voted in there to do.
Yeah.
And right now, there's over 600,000 homeless people in the United States, and those are just the ones that are accounted for.
Exactly.
I'm sure it's way higher than that, but but as of the last statistics, it was over 600,000,
right.
and that had considerably increased from the previous year.
Yeah.
So you have more and more people that again are becoming homeless, and there's just no help.
And it's unclear when housing prices will fall, but thankfully they aren't predicted to climb much in 2023. Apartment rates are forecasted to grow 3.3% in 2023. Commercial real estate brokerage, all that's going up. That's why they're trying to get you back in the office. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of people move to the Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Texas area, and that's what make the rents go up. That's what's happened nationwide. And these people overpaid for housing here, okay, because their houses, their little tiny ass houses, $800,000, $1 million, $1 million,
right.
Then they come to Texas and see these big ass houses look like mansions, and the house is $225,000.
And they was paying cash for them,
yeah,
and still had money left over for things.
Yep, and that's the way it was going. So they're moving here, they're driving up the price of everything. They've moved to Vegas, they moved to Texas, they moved to Florida. And they ruined what it was that was happening in all these spaces because everything. There's so much real estate in Texas.
Right.
Texas ain't got nothing but land.
Right.
That's why Texas is so big, because it's so spread out, man. They say people spending an average of $690 on food every month. I heard one guy say he's spending $1,000 on damn food because the prices have went so high.
Because the prices are so expensive. And if you have a family, then it's really expensive. I mean, eggs alone, when they increase in price, the eggs increased in price 250%.
Yeah.
That's crazy for anything to be increased that amount. And that was just the eggs. That don't include everything else.
Exactly.
You can come out of the grocery store with 2 bags of groceries and have spent over $200.
Yeah.
Real easy, depending on what you get.
Because when them California folks was moving here, dude, they was paying $75,000, $150,000 over asking. Now, back before the pandemic, interest rates were like 2 or 3%. Now they're like 7 or 8%. And then again, like we discussed earlier, we're sending all our money over to Ukraine. And, the war's impact on how much food Ukraine can export, because Ukraine accounted for 9% of the global wheat market, 12% of the corn market, 7% of the world's barley market, and 46% of the sunflower oil market. And so now with the war going on over there, that's driving the price of things up. And it's just like no one's talking about what's going on here. And all these wildfires that are breaking out around the damn globe and whatnot. I know they say it's global warming, but a lot of that's contributing too, because it's affecting the supply chain.
Right.
They say food prices are expected to rise in 2023, albeit at a slower pace than they did in 2022. But, and it all comes down to the dollar. Now, I don't know if you know about the BRICS dollar. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And they're not talking about any of this on mainstream media.
Right.
Check this guy out.
Listen, American people, stop letting them tell y'all that inflation is why things are high. That's not why shit is high in this country. The reason why shit is high is because American dollar has just been dropped by all these countries. The reason why the dollar even had any weight to it, because Africa, Ethiopia, the Saudis, the Saudis and them been using American money to trade on and buy stuff on. They stopped doing that shit. Shit is high because American dollar just went to trash. American dollar is trash. They're not telling you the real deal. It takes 55 American dollars to equal 1 African dollar, 1 Chinese dollar, 1 Russian dollar, right? Okay, 55, because that money that Africa, China, and Russia is using is backed by gold. That money that America give you is backed by fucking dirt. That shit has no fucking value. That's why inflation is high. Put it this way, China makes everything for America. China makes the drawers you got on. America sold all their biggest plants to China. Now that shit has come back to bite them in their ass. During COVID, America sold 5 of its biggest food plant to China. Now China's making the food that comes into the country. So guess what's gonna happen? If it takes America $55 to buy a pack of gum, what do you think gonna happen? It's gonna take you $1,000 to get a half a buggy of grocery. November 1st, Russia, China, and Africa money hits the mainstream. American money goes to trash. They just said the interest or the inflation went up 3.2%, right? That's not inflation, bro. That's because the American money dropped. They don't want to tell you that. Stop waiting on these news to tell you stuff. Use the internet. Do your research. A lot of people got videos out showing you that the American money is the same as toilet paper. Me, Bill Gates, and Warren Buffett got the same much money. And Elon Musk. All their money is trash, bruh. That's it. That's it. And then people keep saying, well, we need Trump. We don't need Trump. We don't need Joe Biden. We need the American people to come together to get this fucking government out of here. That's what we need. We don't need Trump. We don't need fucking Biden. We don't need none of them stupid motherfuckers. We need us.
So yeah, that's what's going on with the American dollar, mind. Everything's expensive.
It's crazy.
People cannot afford if an emergency arises. Because it's like the one girl on TikTok said, all I do is eat, sleep, and work, and I'm hungry, tired, and broke.
Yep.
And no one seems to be addressing the issue, mind.
And it seems to be system-wide. Now, I stand corrected, too. I said that he was getting ready to give another 55 million to Ukraine.
Right.
It's actually another 250 million. And
I believe it.
He took advantage of a Pentagon accounting error is the reason why they were able to do that. And it was like, okay, if there was a Pentagon accounting error, then that didn't mean that you needed to send them another 250 million again, pump that into your own economy. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
That's because they're all in cahoots, mind, with each other. Now, there are 8 things that are about to get more expensive in the U.S., they say. 1, computers and electronics. 2 is cars. I'm so glad we paid our car off, mind. Good Lord. Rental car prices are going up. Gas, of course, because gas has just been fluctuating. Whenever you think you need to get gas, you better get it, because you don't know what the hell the price is going to be the next damn morning. Number 5, food at home. Okay. Number 6, food away from home. Eating out right now has become totally expensive. That and the thing with this damn tipflation. You come in and
they're making you give it to them.
Pick up your own food, and everybody wants a tip. Hey, where's the bathroom? It's over there. Do you want a tip?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to tip. I just asked where the bathroom was. Number 7, housing, as you well know. Number 8, as we go into the holiday season, Christmas trees are going to be radically expensive. You know, so everything is going up. The politicians don't want to talk about or discuss it because, again, when the Trump was in office, the Donald, you know, things were pretty good.
Well, yeah, because he closed the borders. He gave his people assistance as they needed it, because hence the stimulus checks. He gave increased
the stimmy checks were sweet. Now I got to admit to that.
Yeah,
the stimmy checks were real swell.
Even though the PPP thing was abused, but that helped a lot of people.
Right.
So there were a lot of, and of course he had help in doing all of that, but he did it, and he also. Again, he put his people first. I mean, I can understand helping other countries and giving assistance to but we need to have a limit, not just every time you look around, you're writing checks or you're sending equipment and you're doing all this stuff. Come on now.
The American people need help, and here is what people are saying about it.
So I have a question. How are people making it and living it nowadays? I know I'm not the only one in this boat, but like I'm scared. I'm really starting to worry. All my credit cards are maxed out. I haven't made a payment on my credit cards in months because I have no money to do it. My savings is exhausted. There's nothing in there. Gas overnight has gone up 16 cents where I live. It is now $4.15 a gallon. I just want to know, what are people doing? Because this is getting really scary. I can't buy groceries. My electric bill is $400 a month. My house payment has gone up $100 or $150 a month. I don't know what they expect people to do, but here we are giving billions of dollars to Ukraine and paying for Hunter Biden's fucking trial and all this bullshit the taxpayers have to pay, but we cannot live. I don't know. I just don't know what to do anymore. This is getting bad. It's never been this bad in my lifetime as to what this idiot president has done to us. I mean, people are going to lose everything.
Minimum wage in America. How many people are earning $7.25 an hour? President Biden proposed raising the federal minimum wage to $18 as part of his $1.9 trillion stimulus package. But today, how the hell can you even live off of $15 an hour? If it was tied to inflation like President Roosevelt did so many, many moons ago, okay, then you would be making $52, $54 an hour right now. As the way things are, you cannot survive. And it's like you and I were talking about. These people are putting these jobs out here. Oh, we're hiring, and then how much you said they pay?
$10 an hour. Because City View, the taco place, they had an ad for overnight shift, and they were paying $10 an hour. And then you had all of these people that was commenting and was complaining about people not wanting to work.
Exactly.
Who the heck can live off of $10 an hour? It's like if you make $10 an hour, you can't pay for rent.
Yep,
you can't even pay a car note making $10 an hour.
And they know this, man.
Only a teenager living at home with mommy and daddy that don't have to pay bills can. That all they do is buy games for their PlayStation.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 1.6 million workers, or 1.9% of all hourly paid non-self-employed workers, earn wages at or below the federal minimum wage in 2019. That year, 82.3 million people were paid hourly rates, making up 58.1% of all wage and salary workers in the United States. Here's a guy that went in on him. Check him out.
Here's some statistics for you. The only reason the minimum wage was established was because banks and billionaires fucked up our economy in the 1920s, and it got so bad that people had to sell their children. So FDR won the election under his policy, the New Deal, which established minimum wage and tied it to inflation. So that way no American would ever not be able to afford a home, feed their family, and have extra money for leisure afterwards. If minimum wage had stayed tied to inflation as it was written, it would be $52 per hour after this last year. And guess what? You need to afford a home right now. That's $400,000. You need to make $52 per hour. But instead of having people owning homes and providing for their families, we're all fighting over the scraps because the billionaire class bought both the Democrat Party and the Republican Party, and they've got us fighting a culture war instead of us teaming up and fighting the class war that we need to. Solidarity. Know your place. We all are in this together.
So that's what that's about. It's just sad.
It is.
How you treat the people, and then you want people to pay more taxes, taxes.
Just
Same
more
thing.
and more.
Everybody's struggling, and then here come Oprah and The Rock want you to go get your little crumbs.
And then you pay off your houses, and you lose your house because of taxes.
Mom.
And when you have other countries, once their people pay off their houses, that's it. They don't have to pay taxes on their houses that are paid for and all of that kind of stuff. Or either in Europe. Europe don't want their people spending their bill money on vacation. So when they go, they automatically get 5 weeks vacation every year when they get a job, and with that 5 weeks come additional 5 weeks of pay.
Work-life balance.
Yeah. So when it comes to time for your vacation, they give you the equivalent of what your normal check is just for your vacation. Plus, they give you your paycheck.
Because you need work-life balance, man. You get tired of going to these jobs. You get burnt out, and these people don't appreciate you. It's like they said, working here is like taking a piss in a dark suit. You get a warm feeling, but no one notices. What about retirement? Will people be able to retire? The baby boomer generation is reaching retirement age in record numbers.
They're trying to raise that.
To like the 70s because they want you to die before they have to pay it out.
They want you to work till you die.
Yep. With more boomers retiring on a daily basis, it helps to understand how prepared they are to leave their jobs for good. Just because you're a baby boomer of retirement age doesn't mean you're able to actually retire. Financial preparation, not age, is the key to a successful retirement. While many Americans think that once they hang up their working shoes, they'll be able to retire thanks to savings, Social Security, and a pension. And the truth is that many won't actually be ready. Check this guy out.
Hey, good afternoon. I come on TikTok to tell man the truth. 59 years old, and I'm not the only one. We get Social Security checks, we in work, but you know what? That check don't last that long. That check don't last till the 15th. I want everyone to know out here, family members, I have family members. Don't help me, don't try to give me nothing. We all struggling. But if you have family members on Social Security or SSI and you can help them, man. Help them. These checks that people get every month, once a month, it ain't no money. It ain't no money. You'd be surprised how many people had to move in with their son, their daughters, their in-laws, because they don't make enough. And people getting SSI, getting a little bit of money with a little bit of food stamps. It is so hard living in this country. We need help. We need help. Everyone out here that's living in this country and work to all these hard jobs in America. Come on, man. It's time for y'all to help us up there in Washington, D.C.
So, will you be able to retire? Will you be able to rest your weary bones at some point? And that's why they overturned Roe versus Wade, because of the fact that there aren't enough people covering Social Security. Like when your grandmom retired. There were like 10, 15, 20 people working to pay for her retirement. Now to retire, there are only like 3 people working to pay your doggone retirement.
That's right.
Okay, so it's getting sad with the price of everything. To me, it's price gouging. To me, it's the government helping. Like China said.
And to me, they're legal crooks.
Legal crooks. And like China said, how in the hell do you let corporations buy up houses in your country when housing is a dang on human right? Animals have homes, but you let these people buy up the houses, turn your people into renters, because remember we watched that.
And it's a lot of their people are the ones that's buying them up.
Yep. And hell, if you letting them do it.
I know. Because over there, they can only be a homeowner for so many years, and then they have to give them up. But they invest over here and buy up all the property and then rent them out and get rich. Or richer.
It's just a sad state of freaking affairs, man. Everything is going up. Put down in the comments how you're dealing with the price of everything that's going up. Put down what things are costing in your community.
A lot of families are moving together. They're doing that multi-generational thing in order to be able to make it.
And that's what the guy was telling you about, the fact that y'all laughed at them damn Hispanics because they was all up in there living together, and they'll all buy a truck, and then once one gets on their feet, then they'll move out, and then they'll set their place up and let other people stay with them. But then you have this huge influx of immigration, which we're going to cover that in next week's show. But all these immigrants pouring into here. Now, the thing with the immigrants is because America wants free or cheap labor. That's what built this country, and that's what these people want, because they are going to exploit it and live off of it. It had nothing to do with you. And then the Democrats are trying to convert them into citizens to make them voters for the Democrats. I don't know if you saw the bill in Illinois they're passing that they're going to start letting the immigrants be police officers.
I'm not surprised.
Truly sad.
And they can't even speak English.
But you know who they here for? They here to stomp on your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand black people. Your stupid ass out here stomping and marching for the immigrants. The immigrants aren't coming here to work with you. These groups do not come here to work with you. They're here to set up their own thing, and they're going to step on your neck to get there.
And the thing about it is they're so welcoming to all of the immigrants except the Haitians.
Yes.
They turn the Haitians back right on the water and sit there and watch them drown.
Remember they were beating them with on horseback with the whips and whatnot?
That was the Mexicans that
that was them Haitians.
On the horseback?
They was on horseback kind of beating them with a dang on whip.
Yeah, I remember
we did
that.
a show on
that.
Oh,
yeah. It was the Haitians. I remember
it was the Haitians. They don't want the blacks in here because they don't want black people getting their numbers up, which our numbers are probably up any damn way. But let us know how much are things in your area, housing, food, because you know out there where KYBNradio.com with the great Dr. Aaron Ramsey and them out there.
Mountain View, California.
Those people are out there living in RVs and whatnot. And they work for Google and places like that, Apple and whatnot. And they're not even making it. And they're living in their vans and whatnot to...
But the cost of living in California has always been expensive.
That's why they've been driving our stuff up, moving here.
Mm-hmm. Plus, they have state taxes and all that on top of everything.
Exactly.
And they come here and just love the fact that there are no state taxes.
Yeah. And so you come here, and everywhere you move to, you're driving up prices. Tell them how much we paid when we were waiting to move in here at that dumpy, crappy Legacy at Cedar Hill, and we went month to month.
Oh, we paid what?
That 1 month, April.
$2,100.
We paid $2,100 for 935 square feet. Now we're paying less than $2,000. Okay, and we live in 2,300 square feet in beautiful Swan Ridge. Okay, we live out here with them folk.
Don't tell folk where we live.
Jackie be all hoity-toity when she go get the mail, waving at her neighbors. Okay, but they don't know what city we in. I just told we was in Cedar Hill. We ain't in Cedar Hill. No, okay, didn't tell you where we were. But, of course, as we all know, it's about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. It's about the politicians that are just... butt humping us all.
And they're, like I said, are rich. They're the top 50 politicians or congressmen or whatever they're calling themselves, legal crooks. They are the number 50 is worth over 10 million.
Yeah.
We work. Government takes more than half of our money. And you say, oh, well, they don't take half of mine. They only take half of the rich people's money. Oh, really? What do you pay when you buy shit? What do you pay when you own shit? What do you pay on your personal property? What do you pay when you put gas in your car? Okay? And if you add all those things up that you pay, they're taking 50% of your money too. And they're telling you to work. The American dream. And then we'll take half your shit and we send it to other countries. We are the world's ATM. The people of America are the world's ATM. It needs to end. And while you're having trouble paying your bills and while you're stressing over money, they're sending your shit to Ukraine. They're sending your shit to Africa. They're sending it to places, and we got hundreds of thousands of homeless people in our own country. And if they grew their company to make more money for themselves, that means they would pay their people more. They'd employ a whole bunch of more fucking people.
And so think about it. These people are business men and women.
Yeah.
So therefore, who do you think interest is going to be their first priority?
That's what
it's going to be the businesses, because that's what they are, the big businesses. So therefore, they're not really in there for the people. They'll tell you what you want to hear to get in there, and then once they get in there, they don't do anything. That's just like one of our local politicians. She called her other constituents on the carpet because she was like, every last one of you said during your campaign that you were going to come in and you were going to lower taxes.
Yeah.
And she was like, our taxes have not been lowered at all. As a matter of fact, they've been going up every year. So they promise one thing and deliver something totally different.
Think of, because I like to think in terms of movies and whatnot. Think of All About the Benjamins.
Yeah.
With Mike Epps and Ice Cube.
Right.
And then when Ice Cube got them diamonds, and they was sitting there, he poured them out, and they had found them in the fish tank, and they was putting them up, scooping them up and whatnot.
Right.
And then Day told him, he said, yeah, well, he was called Reggie in the movie, but he said, yo, Bookham, I thought you was gonna do so and so and so and so. He said, yeah, but now that I got them, and it's the same thing. Once they get in office, man, now that I'm here, I know what I said.
Yeah.
Because somebody pulls them to the side and tell them this how the game go. Speaking of politicians, do you think there should be term limits? Okay.
Yes.
And someone who put it very eloquently was Eddie Griffin. Check this out.
I'm just saying, how you gonna lead the free world, nigga, sleep at the wheel? It ain't gonna change because the Democrats and Republicans are running the lawmaking branch. They ain't gonna never pass a law to put term limits on their asses. You should only be able to be in the Senate for one fucking term. House of Representatives for one motherfucking term. Why? Because leading a country is a privilege, not a power play. We creating lifelong politicians that can get bought and paid for by oil companies. If they know they only gonna be there one time, and oil company can only spend money on them one time, they gonna say, fuck you, motherfucker, and do the right thing. Because they going right back to the private sector, getting dealt with the laws that they passed. Nigga, ain't no motherfucking tax-free once you're a senator, once you're a House of Representatives. No, you gonna pay taxes too, bitch. Now watch them start cleaning up them tax laws when they have to leave the Senate and the House and go right back and become a public citizen. That's how you clean the shit up. But Congress ain't gonna never pass that law to police themselves. See what I'm saying? It's supposed to be 3 branches. So an executive order has to be written to force the House and the Senate into doing its term limits. And then it has to be ratified and okayed by the second branch, the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court has now become politicized. They voting on Democrat and Republican shit. So this two-headed monster, it's got us all fucked. So we need a president bold enough to write that executive order and say, fuck you. Term limits on all you sons of bitches. Ha ha. And then let them take us to court to try to keep their ass in there. And once they try to take us to court, then everybody run against them and like, see, this motherfucker trying to stay in there forever. He's after power. It's a simple motherfucking sale, nigga.
So yeah, should there be term limits on these government positions? And how you getting rich being a damn politician?
There should be term limits, there should be age limits, and there should be competency tests given to every last one of them every year.
And how old the hell is all these people in their 80s?
Mitch McConnell appeared to freeze for a second time this year and was bizarrely followed up by his aide saying, "Please speak up." Yeah, the real problem here is that reporters aren't loud enough, not the fact that Mitch McConnell was born before Tupperware was invented and probably isn't very fit to serve office. Aging isn't partisan either. Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein's memory is reportedly deteriorating according to her colleagues. You can't really blame her considering the fact that she was born in 1933, which is before they started putting beer in cans. Obviously, we hope that McConnell and Feinstein are okay, but how do we fix this? The most obvious answer is to implement term limits on members of Congress. These unlimited terms only proliferate corruption in Congress because special interest groups can bet on politicians having long careers. Senator Ted Cruz has introduced an amendment that would actually impose these term limits, and for the first and probably only time in my life, I agree with Ted Cruz. Even though he's running for a third term, which would be illegal under his own proposal.
You should be having people in office now that are in their 30s and 40s. They're pretty much going to jump over the Gen Xers to the millennials and Gen Z, because the baby boomers are still in here, and these people are in here till they die. You're writing laws that you're not going to be able to put into effect because you'll be dead and gone when they go in to the West Virginia. And here's the thing. You should be in office 1 or 2 years. Then you come back out here, your ass needs to be a regular citizen. Why? So that you can live under the laws that you've imposed on others.
There should be no way in hell that any politician goes to Washington, D.C. and makes tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. That shouldn't happen. There should be no way that they get to trade on stocks when they're in there making legislation that affects the companies that are actually trading, or doing deals with certain companies between the government and these companies and then trading on those stocks. Like, dude, the shit is so corrupt. Most people don't have the financial understanding to even, like, sort of comprehend how bad the system is. If people truly understand how oppressive the financial system is, there would be a revolution. It would have happened 20, 30, 40 years ago. Slavery wasn't abolished in the mid-fucking 1800s. It still exists today, except it's all of us.
They just put it in the tax.
People don't understand that.
They said that if as of right now, if the age limit was set at 70, 71% of the people that's currently holding office would be at home right now and not sitting in office.
They're holding on for the power.
That is ridiculous. These old people are so out of touch with reality and with what's going on in the world, that how can they really and truly effectively run
And if the president has a term limit, why don't the rest of them have one?
Exactly. And Biden is the oldest sitting president that we've ever had.
And you can damn tell. Okay? You can damn tell. That chick Diane, what's her name? And look at what happened with Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
He froze up the one time. Let me put that up.
He's one of the top 50.
Then he froze a second time.
Yeah,
He's one of the top 50. What now?
He's one of the top 50 richest. The wealthiest.
I don't doubt it. And you a damn politician.
And I forgot to tell you, the richest one is Representative Rick Scott. He's worth $200.3 million.
It's just sad, man.
Nancy Pelosi's up there. She's like in the top 10.
All old ass white people.
That's been there forever.
And that's why you people vote against your own interests. Let me tell you something that Farrakhan said years ago when I was checking him out. White folks just the last ones to get hit, because the cousin of racism is classism. Okay, when they got rid of unions because they thought blacks were benefiting too much. Oh, don't worry, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Then you had no union. When they wanted to ship jobs out of the country, oh, don't worry, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Now you have no job. When they wanted to flood the black community with crack cocaine, oh, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Now you have an opioid problem. When they raised interest rates so that black folk couldn't get a house, now your ass can't get a house. Why do you think there's a prepay, a copay with Medicare? See, everything in America is racially motivated, but you want to say there's no racism. The reason that America is the most powerful country on the planet, so they say, but you have no universal health care because they want to keep talking about socialism. It ain't about socialism. You don't want black people to benefit, okay? You're willing to let yourself or your family members die so that black folk don't benefit. So even when they decided to give insurance health benefits, okay, in order to further keep blacks out, the more poor blacks and the middle class blacks, they implemented a dang on copay. Everything. When you keep saying, oh, well, y'all keep playing the race card, this country was built on that. That's why they letting all these immigrants in, because they need cheap or free damn labor.
Well, and the thing is they're the ones that keep voting down them not having term limits. And it was like, no,
why do they get to vote on it?
And it was like, why in the heck? Okay, that first of all, that law needs to be changed. But it's okay to have a minimum age, because you have to be at least 35 in order to be president. You have to be at least 25 to be in Congress, and then you have to be at least 30 to be in the Senate. But again, they're they hemming and hawing and voting down maximum, because then they couldn't be career politicians.
Exactly.
And do nothing for their people.
That's why they don't want Trump in. Trump is here for the American people. I am a Trump supporter. I don't give a damn what you say, okay? I'm here for Trump, and that's why they running Trump through all this crap. They're trying to get some kind of felony put on him. But I think this law that was written when Gerald Ford took over for Nixon, they put this law in about the president can't go to prison. And they also have this thing, look it up.
Well, because think about it.
And they also have this thing, here's what I think that a guy said, you can't send Trump to prison because Trump has lifetime Secret Service. And the Secret Service can't be trespassing around a federal prison or a prison in general trying to guard the president. They're trying to do this so Trump doesn't get back in office. That's why they have his trial date set for March 6th, because March 7th starts Super Tuesday. This is 2024, and this is when they start campaigning. And they're trying to keep Trump out of the campain, but it ain't gonna matter. You hear people say that if Trump ain't on the ballot, they'll write his name in.
Because why did you wait all these years to bring up all these charges on him? Why didn't you do it immediately?
That part.
And I'm noticing a pattern of the ones that's bringing up the charges of black people. So why are you having that? I mean, it could be all just...
Trump is vindictive. When Trump comes back to get your ass, if Trump get in office, Trump's finna get a whole lot of folk. So them people already know that if Trump gets in, because they wanted his mugshot, the mugshot backfired. All this stuff is gonna backfire. Trump is very vindictive. They know this. That's why they put these niggas up here. So when Trump comes back, he attacks them. But Trump gonna get all y'all, fam.
But he have his cheerleaders every time his little motorcade comes through, when they're having to go to court. I mean, to turn himself in or whatever. They're right there supporting.
Thank you for hanging out with Shaka Ford 1 and Jackie O. We're back now, and we'll be back on each and every week. So make sure you tune in. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all the other stuff.
The above.
Okay, we're still working on things, but reinventing ourselves. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with us, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being patient with us as we got our own lives together. Okay, we had to get in here. We had all our stuff out in the garage. We took us a month or so to get that done. Then we had to go get all the stuff out of storage. That took another month or so to get cleaned out. Now everything is in its place, Now we can focus on getting our furniture and turning it into the home we want it to be. So
before it goes sky high.
Before it goes sky high. Thank you guys. We greatly appreciate you. We love each and every one of you. Jackie O.
And like hubby said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also do the SS feed so that each time a new show is posted, you will automatically be notified. Thank you. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Shaka 401 with Jackie O on the bangingest thing on your urban internet radio dial. Big shout out to KYB and Radio.com.
Hey, Dr. Ramsey and the crew
in Mountain View, California.
We're back.
Yes, who's back. Pushcap's back. Pushcapradios.com. Dallas, baby.
And we're out.
Pushcapradios.com. We're bridging the gap between old school and new school radio. Pray until something happens. God always provides. At pushcapradios.com, the power is in the name. Thank you for following us. And remember this, the people who follow us aren't followers. Jackie O.
And speaking of followers, everybody, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video and all of our other ones.
Yeah.
Also, go visit us over at Facebook, Instagram. Do you still do Twitter?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I gotta beef up.
Tweet him, y'all.
Media.
Give him a reason to tweet. And then y'all be sure and come on back next week, because we're gonna have a lot more Good information for you.
That's what that is. Never average, never mediocre. Online, on point, and on the money. In Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth, we're PushGapRadios.com. PushGapRadios.com. Dallas, baby.
And we're out.
PushGapRadio.com.
We finna take over this town like street sweepers.
Don't knock the hustle, baby.
Hey, this is Scott Moran. It's not just the brothers that listen to PushGapRadio.com. For the hottest new show in the Metroplex, it's Shackleford 1 in the main event on PushGapRadio.com. Hamilton Park, Dallas, Fort Worth. Dallas, baby.
Never average, never mediocre. We're online, on point, and on the money.
Shackleford 1 in the main event only on PushGapRadio.com.
PushGapRadio.com. It's Dallas, baby.